This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain shocking revelations, violence, and sexual themes. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is a one-shot entitled None More Black. It was written by Brian Sammons, and it's part of a collection called Doors to Darkness. It's available from Chaosium on the Miskatonic Repository. Keith Craig is our keeper of arcane lore, and this is episode 1. So without any further delay, let's begin our journey into the darkness. Keith?
All right. Thank you, Tom. It is Monday, March 23rd, 1925, in the haunted city of Arkham, Massachusetts. We join our investigators, all police officers working for the Arkham Police Department. They have just been called out to check a welfare check on a Walter Resnick when Officer Castle and Officer Weiser found his body sitting in a chair. He obviously deceased. They've called in the detectives and the CSI technicians, and that's where we'll join our investigators.
Right.
So where you're at a one of the houses. You know how in a college town there'll be the off-campus houses, but they're usually kind of they're renting out to college students. That's where you're at. It's a one-bedroom apartment. Okay. And Officer Castle and Officer Weiser, when you came in responding to the welfare check that was called in because no one had seen Walter for a few days, you found a young man sitting in a chair, his head lolled back, and his skin cold, and he's obviously been passed away for a while. The room is kind of messy. It stinks a little because the body has not been taken care of. He's also released his bowels after he died. So that's what you came into before you called it in.
Oh, any signs of foul play?
Tape this place up.
Yeah. Does not look like there's any signs of violence.
Officers, were there any people here?
Did you see that guy?
Yeah, it's it seems like he was just sitting home alone. Yeah, we gotta let the professionals take care of it. Make sure none of those college kids come in here and give us any trouble. I'll stand at the door.
Yeah, you get to stand at the door. Thanks a lot, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The crime scene investigators to take a look and see if there's any signs of drug use or what could have possibly killed this guy.
Okay.
Fox, you want to look over the body first, and I'll look around the place a little bit, look for drug paraphernalia or something like that. You can check his arms and all that.
You're muted.
Sure. I would have to just pretty much get ready, put on gloves, and get all my toolkits, and we can start investigating every little thing on there.
All right. Checking out the body. If you look at his arms, there's no track marks, no puncture wounds or anything. You do see in his right hand a small vial. It is unstoppered, and at the bottom there is a little bit of a black viscous liquid. It almost looks like, when you've changed the oil in a diesel engine, how black that oil is that comes out. That's what it gives you the impression of just kind of looking at it.
Okay. So it seems it's just I found it. I'm holding it.
Yep.
Black oil. It's pretty smooth. Looks like almost conventional oil in a way. Just really old and
Yeah, just
Does it look like any drug that you're familiar with?
no, nothing that I've seen before, but drugs are always changing, so
Yeah,
might
if
be
it's
something new on the market.
Or if it's
So-
mixed with something, heroin tar, and hashish, that can both be very
Yeah.
dark.
Black tar. It can
If
be
it's-
that as well.
If it's, he mixed it up with something, but it's not shooting it. He drank it. Well, bag it up. We'll check it out.
Yeah. How is he
Uh,
dressed right now, the corpse?
it looks like his clothes he's wearing, they look like they used to be nice, like, a decent shirt. If he had been wearing a tie, it wouldn't have looked out of place with the shirt. But it looks like the shirt hasn't been washed in
Okay.
a
Does he
few
kind of
weeks.
look like he might have just come from classes reasonably well dressed and he kind of fell into this state? Or so he doesn't have that kind of, I'm hanging out in my apartment, so I'm wearing my
What was he
casuals.
doing?
Yeah.
Was he reading? Was he?
Nope. All you see is he's sitting in his chair, head back, and the shirt. If he was going to classes in those clothes, then he was the smelly kid in class.
Okay. So the people who called in the welfare check, are there other people living in the building?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. How many people live here?
You have the landlord that lives down on the first floor, and
Okay.
then there are two other student apartments here on this floor.
Okay. And we have the name of the person who called it in.
Yep, a Thomas Swanson.
Thomas Swanson. Okay. I'll check the kitchen. Does it look like he was making himself regular meals?
Nope.
So he hasn't been eating in a while. Okay.
Are we
Is
sure
it
this
that?
is his apartment? Can we find school books, things that are his?
Yes. Yep. He does have some school books there. Looks like he was probably a freshman because it's got the typical, English, your basic degree
Right.
classes.
Do these
Was
rooms
he-
have restrooms?
No, they're not in suite. They're
Oh.
down
So there's
down the
there's
hallway.
a community. They're down the hall.
Down
Yep.
the hall. Okay. Was he sleeping in his bed?
The bed is unmade.
That is unmade. All right. Does
I'm
his school? Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm gonna check the periphery. I'm gonna see if the window's locked, if just general things that if anything looks out of place.
Right.
From a normal high school or college student.
Right. The windows is closed. It's not locked. You're on the second floor. It's in the college area, so it's not really a high crime, seedier part of town. So it's not too surprising that the windows aren't locked. As you can give me a spot hidden, and same for you, Clive Harmon, because you said you were going to be looking around the room also.
Yeah.
No. 79. I don't see a damn thing. I'm not a good detective.
Ah,
I got a regular 53.
As you look around, you see, how kitchen cabinets, they'll have that lip that your toes can go under so you can stand at the cabinet.
Yeah.
Underneath that, you find 4 more of those vials that he had in his hand.
Check the
They're
trash can too.
are they intact or are they empty?
They are empty. There's still a little bit left in it, because
Yeah.
anytime you spin something upside down, it's hard to get every drop out of it.
Right. So I was wondering if I was going to find some kind of suicide note at his desk or something, because he's dirty, despondent, college kid, depressed, and that black stuff looks kind of gross. But it doesn't look like it was a one-drop poison. It looks like it was something he was partaking in.
yeah.
We'll have to get somebody from Vice at some point. Maybe this stuff is all over and we just don't know about it yet because they're not showing up dead as much. How long's he been stiff?
whoever's looking at him, you can give me a science forensics or a medicine roll to determine how long he's been dead. So, Gavin, that'd probably be you first because you're the one that's kind of checking
Looking
out
at the body. Yeah. Okay. I can do a medicine roll just
Okay.
to, let's see. I got 45 on that one.
And what's your skill?
45.
So you rolled your skill. All right. He's been dead 2 days.
Okay.
You know,
In his papers and stuff, has he been doing his homework to a certain point? Does he have a schedule? Maybe stuff he's borrowed from schoolmates?
it does. You do see in there, like if you go through his homework, you see that he was doing his homework until about a month ago. Then, and you look in there and it looks like, he doesn't have any more notes for class or anything after February 20th.
Okay.
Mason, what was his study? What was
his
study?
major?
General ed. He was, just by the books. He was a freshman, so he's knocking out his
He hasn't picked yet.
core curriculum.
Are there ashtrays in the place?
Sure.
One
Yes,
kind of
thank God.
cigarette butt or two kind of cigarette butts? Hey, hold on. There's evidence still.
Yeah, he probably rolled his own because he was poor. Because he was he's a college kid. Yeah.
And we don't have any lipstick cigarettes in there. He wasn't maybe inviting ladies up or anything like that.
No.
Yeah. I want to look through his desk. If he's got some novel narcotic that he's into, then he's got some friend who turned him onto it. Yeah.
Yep. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Check his wallet for a business card of some sort. Somebody he's getting it from. Clarification. Did you say that this apartment was not on campus? It
is not on campus. It's
not.
probably like a mile, maybe a mile and a half from campus. So easily within walking distance.
This is a 1-bedroom apartment?
Yes, it is a 1-bedroom apartment. Yep.
Okay.
One room. Yeah, actually.
One
Yeah,
room.
so
you do
Why
find
is
you do find, like you said, you were going through his desk. You do find like a journal, but no business cards or anything.
Yeah, I don't know any drug dealers who have business cards, but I'll have a flip through the journal, maybe see again if he's talking about.
he'd at
what
least
he's
have
into.
associates, maybe.
Right.
But
Might have an address book too, but we'll start with the
phone
journal.
number, yeah.
Give me an English roll as you're trying to skim it kind of quickly.
Drama. Ooh, I made it by 2 points, and that's at 75.
As you're kind of flipping through it, reading, just skimming it, he keeps talking about, like, you see generally on Fridays, he's got these weird comments in there. One that grabs your attention is that he wrote it will not be remembered as the Great War. It'll be remembered as World War I. And then another one where he goes, the 2 towers will fall.
That's some weird stuff.
Maybe his kid was into that. Are there issues of weird tales around the place? Sounds like the kid wants to write strange stories. That
No.
towers business sounds like some kind of Arthurian bullshit,
Yeah. Maybe
There's-
Dunsany.
If you're
Asshole,
talking out
wiser.
loud,
Yeah.
does it sound like, what was that guy's name? Nosferatu? Not Nosferatu.
Yeah,
The
Nosferatu.
the mystic who, the mystic who wrote the quatrains of
Nostradamus.
Nostradamus. He
Nostradamus.
thought he could see into the future. It sounds like this guy's projecting into the future.
Oh, with drugs, you can
You
project.
guys talking about vampires in there? It said something about drugs, right? The kid-
Yeah.
Dose
Yeah,
some stuff out.
we're looking at drug stuff. Wiser and Castle, if you want to ask the neighbors, so we got a call in, you said from Thomas.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
what is Walter's room, say left, right, or center in the three upstairs?
Say
are they
left.
cross-
Left.
All right.
Yeah. You guys
So
get any
maybe find the-
points of contact in there from his stuff? Maybe find his dealer?
No names yet.
Not yet. We're probably going to have to
We can
canvass the campus.
Does the deceased have
Yeah.
any accessories on them?
Like jewelry or anything?
Anything
Anything
anything to kind of reference an age or like a trend that they're into or something? Or
Yeah, with your medicine roll, you would have known he was 19, probably 19, 20 years old. You also notice that he is severely underweight.
okay.
Wasn't eating,
Like
yeah.
when you start kind of, the clothes kind of hit it, but once you kind of touch it, you can definitely feel the ribs and
And
Does it look
that's
like
the,
he had money or not money?
if you open his wallet, he has cash in there.
So he
I
wasn't
think a
starving to
freshman
death.
who's not living in a dormitory probably has some kind of resources.
Some kind of money with mom and dad. We're gonna
Unless
have
it's
to.
cheaper out here because it's far from campus. I don't know.
Well, we're
Yeah.
not. Are we in a good part of the
What-
neighborhood or a
what-
bad neighborhood?
What would you say the building's low income, upper class?
Yeah, I mean it rents out to students, so it's not going to
So
be.
it's fairly low.
Yeah.
Would you
Right.
say
Well, we'll
like the
have to learn-
neighborhood's noisy or it's pretty quiet outside?
Probably a little bit of a noisier neighborhood,
So kind of in a city type of thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Arkham's a small town. It does have a mob presence, the Irish
Mhm.
mob.
Well, how often are Castle and I called out here in this part of the town?
Usually when you come out there, it's to deal with people, noise complaints and
Oh yeah, the kids are partying and stuff.
Yeah,
There's
exactly,
not too
yeah.
much.
with the
like
prohibition,
he has
you
many
usually kind of
parties.
pushing away, getting
Yeah.
to bed.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to alert the university that one of their students has passed, but maybe we can interview people that knew him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll start banging on doors if
Find out what
there's
his class
any
is.
contacts.
They probably have a schedule for which classes he was taking.
All right. We'll say Officer Weiser and Officer Castle, you're kind of asked to go bang on doors. So downstairs is the landlords, and up here you've got two doors. You want to go with the neighbor or the one across the hall?
Well,
Neighbor.
Neighbor.
yeah.
Let's try this neighbor. It's closest.
All right. When you knock on the door, a larger student, you probably a jock, or he opens the door and he's like going, good. He came. I'm Thomas Swanson.
Oh, great. Yeah, you're the one that called.
Yeah. I just hadn't heard from Walter in a while, and I was nervous. He's usually, you can usually hear him through these walls. They're pretty thin.
Oh yeah. Are you and Walter close? Are you friends?
We would see each other sometimes, on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we would walk to school together because we used to. I mean, he hasn't really been to campus except for on Fridays for the past month, but
Only on Fridays, huh? Yeah.
yeah, but when I just hadn't heard from him, all weekend, and he wasn't there to walk to campus on Friday, which was his tradition. I just started worrying because, I can usually hear him ranting and raving on Saturdays.
Ranting and raving. What do you mean?
Oh, I think he was, I don't want to speak ill of, with this many cops, I'm just going to assume that the worst happened. I've heard you guys over there talking. Saturday, Saturday mornings, like 1 a.m. or something, he'd start talking. He's like, I've seen it. I've seen it. You know, one time he was going on about how he saw Caesar being stabbed, and another time about, you know, things that could fly in the air, you know, without propellers. You know, crazy things.
So, and just by himself. There's never any other voices with him.
No other voice. No.
Middle of the night. It's weird. That and Saturdays specifically, huh?
Yeah.
After he gets back from school once a week.
Yeah.
When you guys would walk to school on Friday, where were you leaving at? Where were you guys departing?
Well, from here.
No,
No,
where once you got to campus, where did you?
I see. At the quad, you know, he would just kind of hang out. There's a couple other people that were, the bad group, the bad seeds on campus.
The druggies, the drug guys.
Again, I'm not saying that's what was going on. I'm just saying
you're not going to get in trouble.
yeah, because I wasn't doing anything. I don't even smoke.
Nope. Yeah,
What
it looks
about,
like your physique is very nice. So obviously,
Thank you.
work out.
I need to smoke. I heard it's good for your lungs, but
Helps out with lung capacity. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, yeah, we all know that smoking's good for you, but besides that, there's some other worse drugs that really aren't. Do you know if Walter was into any of that kind of stuff? Did he experiment with things?
If he did, he didn't tell me about it, and all I would have never taken him up on it if he had offered. But yeah.
Well, yeah, Thomas, thanks for calling. Can tell you're a good kid. It's responsible of you. It's we're concerned that Walter might have gotten his hands on some dirty stuff. You know, so that's where we're gonna need to be looking. That's the next step for us is to figure out where he got this stuff from.
Oh well, I mean, I got nothing to point you in the right direction on that one. I'm sorry, officer.
Did he have any friends come over to visit?
No, never.
All right. Well, you did the right thing by calling us. That welfare check, that was key. We're proud of you, and we're proud of what you're doing in college. Make sure you pick up those cigarettes. It's really going to help your run times.
That's right. All right. Go MU.
Well, call us if you think of anything else, okay? I'll give him my card.
Okay. Oh. Thanks.
Yeah.
Puts it in his pocket.
So
Hey.
I'm going to kind of, I don't know. I want to go through his personal stuff and see if I can find anything in his drawers and his, I'm looking for anything that might indicate a lead or at least a direction to go.
Yeah. As you go through his personal stuff, you don't find anything.
May I?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's obviously an overdose, right? Of something, whatever he was taking.
May I ask the condition of his teeth, his mouth, if I look through it?
Yeah, so when you open up his mouth, his tongue is black. And his teeth are stained black also.
How about his eyes?
His eyes, bloodshot, I don't know. Someone that's been dead 2 days, I don't know what their eyes would be, but let's assume that they're bloodshot and you can kind of like he hadn't been resting well.
Can I check throughout his entire body to see if there's any like needle points or anything like that? Or was this
you could, but you would have to strip him down, which you might want to wait till you get back to the morgue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I lift up just like the stomach?
Yep.
Sure. Is there anything like that? I don't notice anything.
No, he did not.
Okay.
It's
And
a little
we
bit.
haven't seen any sign of needles. It looks like he was drinking this whatever the street name for this thing is. Does it have an aroma?
Give me a spot hidden. It's a smell hidden, but
Yeah.
We don't have smell.
yeah.
8th edition is going to have
We
smell hidden.
should.
That's
It
a
came
good
up in the
idea.
last game. We did do a smell hidden roll. I
Yeah.
remember that.
That's a hard success.
You smell a hint of alcohol.
Yeah, but a lot of things are soluble in alcohol, and it
Right,
doesn't.
right.
I don't smell anything. It doesn't smell like hemp oil or
No.
yeah. And so there was one in the deceased's limp hand because Rigor is gone by now.
Mm-hmm.
And there were 4 under the kitchen counter rail.
5.
That's 5.
So if it was
Maybe the
taking
garbage
one
can
a
as
week,
well. We could find.
1 a week for a month. That's about it.
So this is slightly disgusting, but is his excreta or his shit, does it look different than normal because of the stuff he's been taking?
We'll
Somebody
say
check.
we'll say yes. I know when I drink too much Guinness that you can tell.
Okay.
So it's infused his, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can we tell who's ever
But I have to
checking
take
the
a sample of it,
vial?
I'm afraid.
Can they see on how long ago those vials were used?
By the
Would you
dryness
say,
of
the stuff,
inside.
does the oil evaporate? The alcohol does, I guess.
Yeah.
And it
So
turns into a
does it
sticky
get
lump.
tarrier?
Yes, we'll say yes. Yes, it does. Mm-hmm.
Does it get powdery at all?
If you kind of look at it, it does look like there's not, completely. There are solids in there, but just with the naked eye, it's.
So like glue,
a
it's
magnifying
gotten-
glass isn't going to do it either. It's going to need a microscope, but we're taking these in. He doesn't have a little icebox in here, right?
No.
That would be a bit upper class. And there are no capped vials, no unopened vials. Or were they corked or were they screw cap?
Say corked. Yep.
The really odd thing there is, why are they on the floor? Why weren't they in the trash can?
Well, I'm thinking he was taking the stuff over the kitchen sink.
Drinks it.
Right? It's got a little kitchen sink, yeah?
Yeah.
One of those,
Right.
and he
Can
washes
we
his
say
hands there.
the condition of the apartment is grungy?
Yeah.
Is it pretty well kept?
No.
Okay.
So he's been
he,
neglecting.
Is he
Yeah.
a hoarder?
No, he's
No?
not a hoarder.
So his eyes are shriveled, but they were bloodshot. He wasn't sleeping. His mouth's erect, not surprising. No
Would
marks.
we
We'll do an
be able to
autopsy.
tell if the apartment has any condition of paranoia, walls covered, windows covered, or anything like that?
No. Mm-mm.
Have the officers rejoined us yet?
Have you?
I think I'd want to go to another apartment.
Okay.
Just real quick first, I'll poke my head in and
Okay.
I'll get someone's attention, maybe Graves, and just be like, thin walls, kid next door can hear everything you say in here.
Okay. And you're telling us that Sawyer was telling you that he was hallucinating?
Yeah, on a schedule, it seems like every Saturday night he'd wake up 1 a.m. and start screaming about seeing things.
I think that we've deduced that he's getting this once a week
Yeah.
and taking it.
Yeah.
So
Well,
he's-
we're gonna keep asking if anybody knows him, knows his contacts or anything.
Yeah.
And then how much residue is left in these little vials? Are they more or less clean when they're emptied?
Yeah.
Little
Yeah.
a little bit of
what
a drip.
I'm wondering whether he got an extra strong dose the 5th time, or he did it too fast,
Well,
or 5
loose-
times is enough to kill a kid.
He
It's
wasn't
maybe
poison
being,
built up in the system.
Cumulative.
he wasn't he wasn't eating, and therefore his body was deteriorating. So maybe he just couldn't handle the stress of the consumption.
Are we able to tell if in order for you to get high, you only need one vial or more?
No.
Well, there's only 5.
It's been about a month.
It's been a month.
But
so
this
about
is why
one a week.
This is why I want to get somebody in device right away. Because if this thing makes you stop eating, you hallucinate and rad, and you only get 5 times before you maybe, a robust.
We should be able to spot other users.
10.
Yeah.
Once the crime scene investigators get that back to the lab, they might be able to identify the chemical components of whatever it is. My guess is it's some sort of tropical hallucinogen that we don't know about yet, something that's going to be on the streets soon.
Yeah, it looks like something, I'm assuming a plant toxin, an alkaloid that's soluble in alcohol, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
There's plenty of them out there that we don't know much about. Did the kid have any reading material in the place?
Just his textbooks.
Just his freshman. So this is definitely a contact situation. This kid did not invent anything or discover anything. He's a vulnerable freshman who met some kids that turned him on to some.
Well, he could be a guinea pig for someone from the chemistry department. A student in chemistry might have been playing with something and fed it to him to see what would happen.
Well, you've got to find a motivation for why he would take the stuff, unless he was promised a really good high, or maybe he was taking it medicinally.
He's writing a journal about the experiences. I think he was enjoying it. In his journal,
curiosity.
Yeah,
I'm going to go check under his mattress.
It seems
sometimes people hide things.
That the kid's been using this for quite a while. If he's able to write while he's high,
well, his homework stopped.
He probably has a good tolerance on it.
Yeah,
either that or he's actually learned how to microdose this product.
Yeah. Except that now he finally failed.
I think it's because he didn't eat for a month. I think his heart was weak or something. You can't not eat for a month and not get weak.
It could be that, or the vial he got brand new was probably dosed with something else.
Yeah. I don't see any foul play, though. I don't think that anybody. Well, we'll have to see, unless somebody's been slipping in this stuff for. He doesn't seem like the kind of person that would piss a bunch of people off that they'd want to off him. So maybe it's just an overdose. Maybe it's as simple as that. I don't know if you can get blood samples or anything from a 2-day dead body that are worth anything.
They'll get liver tissue and see if there's anything we recognize in it. But if this isn't a known substance, and it depends on deterioration, and
let's get the whatever they are, the transport up here to get this kid and take him back to the morgue.
I'm going to flip through the journal and see if the month prior to his taking the drugs, if he met anybody who he seemed particularly interested in, someone who got his attention or charmed him or fascinated him. No reference. Nothing. Mm-hmm. Okay.
No. All right. So you get the body out of there. You guys are done in the apartment. There's nothing else to find. And you guys, are you headed back to the station? I assume the CSI guys are.
Yeah, we're gonna.
I think so at first.
Yeah, we're gonna go into
contact the university.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
You gotta find that. We didn't. There was no mail from mom and dad either that we saw, right?
Mm-mm.
So somebody, the school's gonna have to identify, notify the parents. And when we're going to want to see what classes he was in and who he was hanging out with. And I'll tell you later today or tomorrow if the body tells us anything else. Unless you got another idea, Fox.
At the moment, I do not. But if something comes up, I'll let you know for sure.
Since we're fairly close to the university, I'll go ahead and I'll go over there and inform the school that he's passed away and get what I can information from them. His classes, his professors.
Okay, so you're headed there.
I don't know if Mason, you want to come with me, or do you want?
Yeah, I'm going to check out the quad and see if characters that he was talking about are hanging out there.
All right, so I got the
What day of the week
detectives.
is it?
It is Monday.
Monday.
I got the detectives going to the quad. I got the CSI going back to the morgue. And what are the uniformed officers going to do?
Yeah, what are you thinking,
They're
Castle?
checking more
We should
doors.
probably, just keep getting statements from people. When we were talking to Thomas, I can tell he's pretty far disassociated from this stuff, but he did mention the bad kids on campus. We could press him for some names if we really wanted to. It's just kind of a long shot if it's actually the right people, though. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a pretty good idea. Before they leave to go to check out the quad, we'll see if we can relay all that information about what the bad guys look like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and so it's Monday, and he died 2 days ago, so that means that lines up with the middle of the night Saturday, right, guys?
Mhm.
Yep.
We still have the landlord to talk to here, and then the other apartment.
All right, so we'll do that first. The other apartment, no one's home. It is Monday, and it's a college kid. That shouldn't be too surprising.
Okay.
The landlord is Mr. Jeff Johnson. So he's like, oh, yeah, what's going on? You guys came all rolling in here and stuff, going to check on Walter up there. What'd you find?
He passed away over the weekend.
Oh, okay. So I need to find another tenant. Okay.
Well, it's still a crime scene, so
Well,
you're gonna have to hold off on that.
Well, when
until-
can I get someone in there? I'm operating on a pretty thin budget. Not all of us are sucking on the government's teat like the cops and stuff.
Well, Walter must have paid to the end of this month at least, right? It's the investigation will let us know how long his stuff's going to be in there for, but we'll let you know as soon as.
I ain't sending the security deposit back to his parents because I got to clean that up.
Well, speaking of that, do you have his parents' information?
Yeah. It's all I always require that. That way, if these college kids trash stuff, they can't afford to pay it. His parents, they live out there in Ohio.
So
Right.
yeah, speaking of, it's mostly college kids. You know if they ever throw any parties here, if this is the place.
They do. I throw their ass out.
Gotcha, sir. Well, just notifying there that the kid died. We're getting his body transported out of here right now.
Oh, I appreciate it. It starts stinking the place up. I'd have to reduce the rent.
Well, what was your opinion of this guy?
He paid his bills. Past month, his neighbor, he would sometimes come down and go, "Hey, man, he's being really loud," but it's just one night a week, so I was like, "You just gotta deal with it. It's on the weekend, dude. Calm down."
Saturdays.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's a typical party night for those college guys.
Yeah, partying with himself, I guess.
No, didn't see anybody else in and out.
No.
Just him, huh?
Yeah. That's why, I was like, yeah, whatever. Probably got himself some bathtub gin and was drinking it or
Bathtub gin. You got that inside?
no, of course not. That's illegal.
Can I roll a psychology?
Sure.
Ha! Get wrecked.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, good
I
job,
got a
Castle. Take
20.
it down.
Got a 20 out of 46. Oh,
Yeah, this guy, he's not lying about the gin. He just does not care. He's all about bottom dollar.
maybe if you could sell some gin to these kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we get like the names of the parents and the phone number?
Sure. He
Yeah, all that
provides
stuff.
it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, cool, cool, cool. All right, cool. How long has the kid been living here? Just since the start of the semester? Has he been living here 2 semesters?
2 semesters. He moved in September. I don't
Okay.
know what's Miskatonic's thinking. Freshmen should stay in the dorms, and that's where they should be at. They're not old enough. They can go fight a war, but they can't be living on their own like this. This is
Ah,
ridiculous.
it's more money for you though, right? They let the freshmen live off base or off campus.
Yeah. I mean, sophomores, juniors, I don't care.
All right. Well, we'll let you know when the apartment's back open for you to get it cleaned up,
All right.
get his stuff out of there.
It's 8 days till the end of the month, so
I don't know, sir, if it's going to take that long.
We'll pass that back to the good boys in the lab.
Yeah.
all right. Thanks.
So Graves, the supplier isn't going to know the boy's dead until Friday at the earliest. We should try to make sure this doesn't spread so he or she, probably he, doesn't get word of it and make his operation vanish.
It's going to be difficult because you mentioned it's the wrong student, and they're going to, either help us or they're going to inform the drug dealer.
Well, then maybe we should conceal the fact that he's dead.
Well, we can't conceal, we legally can't conceal that from the university.
No, the university administration can know, but I mean, in terms of letting any kind of rumors get around. Or at least kind of hold off until we can see a change in behavior from somebody.
Maybe we can question the students and the professors in the classes before they realize what's going on. But people are going to start to ask questions immediately because he's not showing up for school.
Well, but he hasn't been showing up for a month. They're probably used to it, right?
Well, has he not been showing up for a month?
He only shows up on Fridays to meet his man.
He's been
skipping classes for a month.
He'd be kicked out of school after missing 3 or 4 classes. I'm sure of it.
So they might have already started proceedings to get rid of him, and he doesn't even know about it.
Or they may have kicked him out. I mean, we don't know what his status is because we have to check. But let's see what we can find out. Miskatonic's got a weird reputation for some weird students.
Some of those ones that do the expeditions, like to South America and stuff. Maybe they picked up something, passed to the chemistry department, and they said, this undergrad, he'd be a perfect guinea pig.
Well, I've heard they've got a whole metaphysical department of weird religious stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe I don't know. Right now it just looks like a drug overdose of something some kids mixed up in the lab, know. So see if he took chemistry,
Yep. So is that actually one of his things?
All right, so you guys, so we'll say you guys are we're discussing that on your walk to the campus, unless you wanted to drive on your way to the campus. Yep. So when you get to the quad, because that's the first thing you see, the Miskatonic University, you've got the various buildings for the various colleges under the university. You got, of course, the Orrin Library, and then you have the administration building to the west. Both of you can give me a spot hidden.
That is a regular pass for me.
Yeah, regular success.
Okay. As you're walking across the quad, you see your typical college age students, and you see one person standing over there that is wearing a suit, is just kind of leaning against a tree watching, and he just he's probably 29, 30 years old. That's why he grabbed your attention. He's like almost a decade older than most of the students around here.
How's he dressed?
He is in a striped suit, with a 3-piece suit.
So he looks well dressed.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's do the peripheral thing where we walk by.
Yeah.
And see if he's looking at us.
Sounds good.
As you do that, he does look up, does kind of look, because I assume you're just kind of walking, not trying to.
Yeah.
And he
Right.
does kind of he looks at you for a bit, and then he goes back to rolling his cigarette.
We can probably get uh, campus buildings are multi-storied. We can get to a point where we can surveil. We can
maybe tail him later.
Be halfway down one of the connecting tunnels and stop there in the shadows and keep our eye on the guy and see what's going on.
Okay.
You can do that, and I'll go talk to the administration.
Sounds good. Okay, I'll keep an eye on him. I'll find a good vantage point. See if he talks to anybody else. General stuff.
All right. So we'll go in Detective Grave. So you go into the admin building. That's where you're headed. Okay. She go in. The admin assistant. She kind of looks up at you, and she's like going, "Oh, may I help you?"
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. I need to speak to head administrator.
Do you have an appointment? Or
I don't. I'm a detective with the Arkham Police Department.
Oh.
It's a sensitive matter.
Oh, of course. She gets on Buzz, and she goes, yeah, doctor, we've got a police officer here. He goes, just a second. This gentleman comes out, and he sees you, and he goes, I'm Dr. Milan Christopher. What can I do for you?
Mr. Christopher, can we speak in private, please?
Of course, it's doctor, though.
A doctor.
Okay, yeah. Come on.
So once we're in private, I forget the name of the student all of a sudden. I didn't write it down. What was his name?
Walter Resnick.
Walter Resnick. Yeah, I'm sorry to say that one of the students registered here, Walter Resnick, has passed.
So
he was found in his room today. But we believe that he passed away on Saturday evening in his room. So it's been a couple of days.
Was it on campus?
No, he doesn't live on campus, but one of his friends noticed that he hadn't shown up for their walk and called us to look into it. We have a couple of questions which we'd like to pose to your administration. We want to know which classes he had.
Of course.
There seems to be a drug-related cause, and we don't know. At the moment we don't even know what the drug is. It might have been a poison. It might have been a drug, but it did seem to be something that he'd been taking on a regular basis. We've sent that to the lab to have them identify. We want to question his professors. We want to possibly question some of the students that knew him.
Yeah. Of course. But drugs, you say, was he ill-kept?
Yes, somewhat.
He's like,
have you been having difficulties with other students?
We've lost a couple students to possible drug overdoses. The medical, the ME, he ruled them natural causes, but kind of ill-kept. One thing that the people that found in their mouths were stained black.
Yes. We think that it might be some new kind of chemical concoction. That's why we're looking into it. We also think that there may be a possible source somewhere here on campus, somebody selling this stuff.
Well, there is. We'll definitely hand them over.
we're here for the investigation. We'll take a look. We don't want to cause any disruption in any schedules or professors teaching, but we would like to have that information and then be able to have conversations with them.
Oh, of course. I'll provide that with that.
And now that we're on the job, if there is a problem, we'll get to the bottom of it as quickly as we can.
Okay. Yeah. Like if anything happens on campus, our student safety is number one priority.
Yeah, and can we get the information about the previous students who also had this difficulty? And we would like to keep this a little on the down low at the moment. You can inform
don't worry
professors,
about that.
But don't,
No, well, we don't want to advertise that where students are going. That hurts admissions.
Thank you.
Yeah. He's like, Jacqueline, can you provide? And he lists off the things that you had asked for.
Okay.
All right, Detective Mason. So you kind of put yourself up in a window where you got kind of a vantage point.
Yep.
As you're there, you see the gentleman. He's standing there. You see, you're almost to the point where you get bored, and then he kind of looks up and he looks at one student. So he kind of starts walking across the quad. He sees walking over to a student. This student looks kind of thin and everything. Well, the guy walks up to him, and they're too far away to understand, but you can tell that he's asking him some questions. And then the guy in the suit, he's starting to get kind of angry, and he pushes the student down.
Okay.
And you almost hear you can hear him yelling, but you can't make out what he's saying.
Right.
And then he spits on him, and then he starts walking out, leaving the quad.
Right. Okay, I'm going to take careful note of the kid who just got knocked over, so I can find him when I get down there, and I'll head out to see if I can catch him.
The guy in the suit or the kid?
No, I'm going to try to talk to the kid.
Okay, yeah.
But I'll take note of the direction the guy took off in, just for future reference.
Okay, sounds good. All right. So you get down there, the kid's kind of standing up. He brushes himself off and got his scratch, but he's got his cheeks are sunken in, his eyes, he's got bags underneath his eyes and everything. He looks up to you and he's like,
it's okay. Hi, young man, you look like death wormed over. Are you all right? Have you been eating?
Yeah, you look awesome too, Flatfoot.
Yeah, that's nice, but I'm actually concerned about you, young man. You don't look very well. And you look like you're talking to some people that don't mean you well.
Oh, him? Yeah, I don't know what he wanted. He seemed to think that I knew stuff and that I was going to tell him. He's crazy.
Yeah, well, you kind of look like someone who might be mixed up in that kind of business, if you know what I mean.
No, I don't.
Well, here, come here and have a sit down with me over at a bench here.
Well,
we're going to talk.
Oh, we are?
You want to talk. You don't want me to go and do anything more formal than that. Talk is the best way for us to go.
Sure. Why not? Why not?
Yeah, okay. Let's go have a sits and let's find out your story.
Oh, my story?
Yeah. So we'll find somewhere where no one else is around so we can feel comfortable to maybe chat.
I was born a poor sharecropper. How about that? How's that for a story?
That's real funny. That's real funny. How long you been doing the black shit?
The black shit. What?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
He's like going.
It doesn't. You're not breaking any laws here, but that guy is. Know. How long you been doing it?
So
I'm looking at your face. It's all over you.
Give me a persuade or a fast talk.
Persuade, I got.
Or an intimidation.
Or intimidation.
Yeah, but I'm trying to persuade. It's in his best interest. I'm not trying to hit him. Regular success.
Goes. He's like, I've only tried it a couple times, but it makes you feel like a god. I mean, you see things like in the past, but it's not like reading out of a book or something. I mean, you're there, man. You're there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and other times you see stuff, it's got to be in the future because like there's no technology that could be that. It's like going y- on the moon. People can walk on the
Yeah.
moon.
In dreams, maybe.
Yeah,
So,
the realest
so
dream I've ever seen.
what do you guys call this drug? Do you guys have a name
It's
for
the
it?
black, the
The
black.
black. The black. Do you have some other friends doing it?
Man, you don't need any friends when you got the black.
No, you don't. What does he want from you? Does he want you to just keep buying this shit, or does he want something else? Because he got mad
Who?
at you.
Who?
The guy talking to you.
He wanted to know where I get it from. I told him I wasn't going to tell him because he's got just like I'm not going to tell you. All you're going to do is cut me off, man. I don't want to be cut
Yeah.
off.
Uh-huh. You know
Yeah,
where you go? Have you
guys-
written your will? Have you written your will yet, kid?
Maybe
Maybe you
my
should write a
will.
last letter to your parents before you let yourself get wiped out by this shit.
Oh man, I can see what happened to my parents. So if I take it next again, like
Yeah, and
y-
then
y-
by the
y-
time you see that, that might be the end of you.
yeah, that's what
You-
that's what the dry said about alcohol. Is like going they're always trying to take stuff away from
You know,
us.
sometimes older people are right. Not always, but sometimes. Have you looked in a mirror?
Mirror, man, no, I want to
You
see
look
another
like
time.
crap.
Well-
I've seen 65-year-olds that look way better than you. You're turning into garbage. You're going to die if you keep taking that shit. Do you care? Do you want to die?
Oh, no, I don't want to die. Then I can't see other things. I
Yeah,
can't
well
see the
then
other
you're going
worlds.
to have to come to a decision about stuff. Look, I'm not gonna drag you anywhere, but if you're a smart kid, you're going to want to stop taking this stuff so your parents aren't crying over you in a pine box. And that's
Oh.
probably what you're going to see if you take this stuff again. You're going to see the future. It's your parents crying over you.
Mm, yeah, well,
If you want to talk,
yeah.
I'll give them a card. Tell us
Okay.
where you're getting this crap. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I'll get right on it.
Hey, and I'll stuff a 10 in. There might be some money too.
Okay. Kind of smiles and then he kind of walks and once he gets a little bit away, he kind of speeds up his steps to kind of get away from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it. Why can they always tell him a cop? I hate that. It's just like I have a cop sign on my head.
All right,
Okay.
we'll cut to Gavin and Clive. Okay. Oh, you guys are in the lab. You've got Walter kind of laid out. I assume you brought the vials with you to look at and everything. Okay. So what would you like to inspect?
Well, like to was a
Yeah.
interesting way to put it. We're gonna open up his rib cage and look at the internal organs, see what got what done to it. How's
Okay.
his heart? How's his lungs? Is his guts?
Okay. You can give me either a forensics or a medicine.
Well, which is better? A regular. Regular either way.
Okay. Looking at his internal organs, his lungs, they are the proper weight, heart, everything, besides what you would expect from malnutrition, there's no other thing. So,
And that's pretty recent.
no cirrhosis of the liver or anything like that.
And there's nothing, obviously the mouth and teeth were stained. There's some esophageal staining, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Probably sort of the stomach, though.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, with the acids and everything.
And is there any glandular deformation? Like, what is the cause of death that I would say based on tissue?
That's where you're at. You can't figure out why. According to looking at that, a 19-year-old with these organs, he should have survived. He should still be alive.
And there's not like any vomit in the esophagus or anything like that. All right.
Is there any discoloration to any of the organs?
No.
No.
I think we got to look at the brain because this thing was obviously affecting the ranting and whatever.
I know we cut him up in already,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
does he have any tattoos, any scars, anything that can
No.
show us? No?
Mm-mm.
He's
Mm-mm.
okay.
Yeah, not member. It was not a member of any club or
No.
cult or anything we know about at any rate. Yeah. All right. I don't know. Fox, are you a better chemist than I?
I am not.
So I'm gonna try to do some slides of the black tar, an
Okay.
old one and a new one. Maybe, and you can crack his skull open and see if his brain looks like it's got extra eyeballs on it, or
Can I
don't know.
say, um, he deceased for 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
His organs are perfectly healthy and a set.
Yeah.
The condition of his bones, are there any strength to them, or do they crack easily when I cut open his head, or when we did the rib cage? Was
It
there?
it behaves like someone that died 2 days ago.
Okay.
I don't know how bones would react, so
I'm just investigating.
yeah. So,
Okay.
mhm.
Right.
Is there any way that I can tell if there's any hair loss or anything like that?
Like I said, yeah, everything tells you this person should be alive,
Okay.
except they are not.
And the way the congealed blood was sitting in his ass and his feet and so on.
Yeah.
He could have died from blunt head trauma. Like there's nothing that yells toxicity. There's nothing growing in him. There's nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So you are looking at this thing under the microscope?
Yeah, I want to get the fresh one from his hand and compare it to the driest one.
Okay. Do you have biology, chemistry, or pharmacy?
I have pharmacy and biology. Biology is a little better.
Okay.
11 is worth a point to make a.
You don't need. Yep. Regular is
Okay.
all you need.
Right.
So as you're looking at it, it looks like there are skin cells and a blood cells in the liquid. And as you kind of adjust it, the microscope maybe to get like a more magnifying thing, suddenly the slide breaks as the black substance jumps onto the lens of the magnifying glass. You can give me a sanity roll.
Gavin, this shit's moving. Sanity's irregular.
Okay, 0. Yep, just kind of like.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's heat. I'm assuming that I started with the freshest vial.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be able to suggest to myself that the warmth of the magnifying caused the alcohol and the substrate to maybe heat up and make it pop. Yeah, we're going to need to wipe everything down. Fox, so the cellular material that I saw before it popped did not look botanical as I would have expected. It looked like mammal blood and mammal skin. Like he's got some tincture of animal that he's drinking. I know there's snake venom that'll make your head screwy. I think platypus is poison, but I don't have any I'm going to.
I haven't heard anything like that before, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Can
So let's.
we say if I'm not too sure of how to say it. Can we say if the vial itself or the slides that you found in there, did you notice any other cellular bacterium or anything like that? Did it look any contaminated? Was it just the mammal itself?
It would look. I didn't see any yeast. I didn't see any active, recognized. There's no staphylococcus, no gram negative, just animal cells in a fluid. Maybe we want to put let's put the put some more sterile alcohol on the freshest vial, and let's recork them all and put them in the ice box. And also we'll stick resnick in the ice box too, because if something's living in them, I don't want it growing. I mean, I know what some fungus growth looked like, and this looked like, I don't know, they were not mitochondria, they were cells with nuclei in them. And it moved suddenly. I think maybe it was a heat reaction. It's February. We carried this here, but
could be.
I want to keep all this cold. And I want to look into, there's research on toxins. I want to get to the medical library and see if there's maybe a platypus, right? I'm not making that up. They have poison in their little,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, first let's clean all this up, because I almost swallowed my goddamn tongue.
All right. So you're getting that all cleaned up. Officers, you guys are done talking to the landlord. Unless you wanted to go do something else, we'll assume that everyone kind of reassembles back at the police department. Okay.
So it looks like the users call it the Black. That's the street name for it. And I'm sure there's multiple kids on campus taking this stuff as we speak. So we're going to get more deaths unless we can find the source. Users like it for the hallucinations. It allows them to see what they think is the past and the future. And it seems to be a primary focus for them. They don't give a heck about anything else. And they're not going to divulge where it's coming from because they value it too much. They also seem to be unaware of their physical ability, what's happening to them.
The head of administration said that this is an ongoing problem. They've already had a number of other deaths, which he's getting me all the information on.
And Graves, I don't think that guy we scoped out earlier is the dealer. He seems to be investigating this himself, so he might be an ally if we can approach him carefully. That kid said he was trying to rough him up to find out where he was getting the stuff from. Now, maybe he's local mafia, wants to edge in, but he might be something else.
He was pretty well dressed.
Yeah.
Did he look Irish?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was probably Irish mob then.
Yeah. Well, still worth talking to. They sometimes know
we
stuff.
both got a fairly good look at him, right?
Yeah.
So maybe we've got some records on
let's look through the
Irish
books.
mob.
See if we can spot this.
See if we can identify him.
Well, so you're saying that it's already circulating campus, that there's plenty of students taking it?
It's not the first incident.
Yeah, well, if the kids aren't going to talk themselves, we could try to pose. We could try to talk one of them into taking me to go buy it.
Who's the youngest of us? Would that be you, buddy?
I think so.
You think we can make it look like a
26, I can.
Yeah,
I can
okay.
pretend
Maybe
I'm
we
a
could.
college
Maybe
kid.
we could slim you down a bit and get you looking like a college kid. Sure.
Little 22 Jump Street
So-
action there.
Yeah. Give me like a baseball cap or something. What do the kids have?
Yeah, just put on
skateboard or
backwards.
something?
Have your skateboard behind you. Yeah. Hey, kid.
What's up, fellow kids?
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's what'd you guys find out in the labs?
Nothing good. Did you get anywhere with the brain, Fox?
I did.
Yeah, same stuff. Yeah.
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 Whatever the method of the cause of death is not yet clear. I mean, the stuff is staining, but
It wasn't like a heart attack from a weak body using the stuff. It wasn't.
No obvious. The organs looked like the organs of a 19-year-old kid who died of something else.
No
Okay.
asphyxia, no cardiac infarction.
No,
There's a
there was no sign of internal or external violence except for the discoloration. And he'd lost some weight, but he wasn't sickly beforehand. It wasn't starvation or
His
parasitism.
his tongue was black.
It went pretty far down, but
It went down his esophagus into his.
yeah. But the stomach, everything there sort of equals out.
Doesn't arsenic turn your tongue and your lips black?
This looked nothing like arsenical poisoning.
And it doesn't make intense hallucinations.
Well, so what you're saying is that we can't pin it on the drug yet. You don't have something to conclude that?
That's got to be the drug. It's just how.
I mean, I think we can say the mechanism is unknown. And the other thing is that the fluid that he was consuming had biological material in it that was not plant-based.
Oh, really?
What does that mean?
The black contains blood cells and also skin cells.
Why would that be
there's
necessary in a drug?
Well, like,
it's
you're saying someone's injecting their blood and mixing it with this?
I'm thinking it's a toxin that comes from a mammal. It might be, there's their skin cells in milk because of the process of lactation.
Mhm.
It's mostly milk, and it's certainly not blood, but maybe the extraction from an animal. Maybe they're breeding some kind of, I don't know.
Right.
So
The animal's a third-party process in the creation of this stuff.
Are there any animals that have black blood? I mean, I've been to a slaughterhouse. It's all red, but
Yeah, mammals are red. Horseshoe crabs are blue. There's a couple of things that are green.
Well,
Black.
most blood's red, right? So what would mix with blood to make it black? Do you know that?
I'm looking at a microscope. So if there's pure carbon, maybe, very fine coal dust in this stuff too, and this is going to be, we're not going to invent spectroscopy for a little while. So,
but when you're,
but the cells might not be. The cells,
future.
I'm going to look into it further. I got a little scared. There was some movement. I'm not sure the cells are entirely inert despite the ethylene base. So anyway, the thing is, it's not like this is coca leaves ground up and put in alcohol. It's not like this is, I don't know, ganja. There's functional mammalian material looking.
Right.
So we need to get to the source of it and cut it off is the clear implication. Because I don't know what it is or how it killed the kid. But it's going to kill.
I'm not a medical fellow. But why would there be blood involved? Blood's not there's no hallucinogenic blood that anything has that I've ever heard of. So why is there blood? What if it's, we just live too close to Miskatonic University to not discount the fact that some kind of weird religious cultish ritual using blood as a component in a magical concoction. Now, I'm not saying that there's magic. I'm just saying that
they're motivated to use blood for religious reasons.
Yeah. I mean,
okay, I'll buy that.
Well, it makes sense. If they're hallucinating visions both of the past and the future conveniently, which means any crazy ass thing they invent in their heads, it's either, oh, I saw the ancient Romans marching through the streets, or oh, I saw, giant.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This kid thought we were going to be on the moon at some point. I've never heard anything more ridiculous.
Well, I imagine H.G. Wells says someday we might be there, but
not possible.
Certainly not now.
Well, sorry, I don't really care what the stuff is. We know it's killing kids, right? So, I mean, just we got to figure out someone. I need to go, rough them up, wave my gun around, whatever I got to do to make it stop. It's you guys can figure it out, but
we'll talk to the Mick, I think. Sorry,
Officer Weiser, we could hit this from two fronts.
Yeah.
One of them is we could definitely warn the students that there is a new drug that is killing their students. So no high is worth the possibility of dying from it.
Yeah, well, I mean, Mason was talking, that kid that he spoke to,
he's not going to stop.
It's like, I mean, and you can tell, like, right? He was all emaciated, like the body we saw.
Same pattern.
Yeah,
but if he doesn't know that he's going to die from it.
I made it pretty abundantly clear that it could lead to his death, and he seemed to
I think once you start it up, you're in too deep. I think the people that are taking it are gonna do whatever it takes. And I mean, it sounds like they stick out in the crowd if we get their trust.
Well, on the plus side, they're easy to spot, so that means they're easy to tail. I don't know that talking to them is going to be helpful because they don't want to give up where they're getting the stuff from. But if we can follow them,
we're gonna have to use some psychological tricks. Look, we know that our guy was in contact with people because he had to be getting this from somewhere, and he was getting it on Saturdays, and other students are involved as well.
Getting it on Fridays, using it Friday night, freaking out Friday night, early Saturday morning, and then died Saturday.
And you know what?
Knowing what we know, we should be able to identify students that are also involved.
Yeah.
That kid that you said you were talking to looked pretty obvious.
Yeah. And you know what? If he's following the pattern, he's only coming the day of the week he can get his stuff. So the dealer.
And if they're following a pattern, then we can observe them and see who they're going to or where they're getting it from.
The problem is that I'm sorry. I hope we don't have to wait until Friday because it's a weekly delivery system.
Right.
Because if it's a weekly delivery system, then we're going to lose another kid or two.
Yeah.
Because we can't follow them all.
Would you do you want the two of us to go dress like college kids and go hang out in the quad?
Oh, yeah. I think that's the best move.
And we'll just see. We can observe what's happening. We're not going to go together. We'll go separately.
With all respect, Officer Castle, you might try librarian. College students tend to look. There aren't that many. I mean, does Miskatonic even admit female students? Even if they do, they're gonna.
Yes.
I mean, Officer Castle, please do not misconstrue my concern. But Buddy he's boyish.
He pinches cheeks. Sorry,
and all we need to do is
he's got peach fuzz on his face.
Yeah,
we're not trying to find. We're not trying to buy. We're trying to follow the buyers to a source. Is all I'm suggesting.
Detective Mason, did you see other females on that campus?
Did I? Is it a co-ed?
There, it is a
Yes,
co-ed.
there-
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it is a
Boom.
co.
And how old is Miss Castle? I don't actually know.
A young looking 30.
Oh God, you know what? I'm not going to say anything because I'm just not going to go there.
girls wear a
I
lot
got
of
nothing
makeup.
to say to this. I got nothing to say to this.
No, girls wear a lot of makeup in this day and age.
I mean, how hard is it? Just put on like pigtails or something. You'll look
Yeah, we
younger.
got it. Yeah, it's fine.
Mhm.
We got this.
Yeah.
I can let my hair down and look younger.
Mhm.
So what's bothering me is that it seems highly unlikely that the source is going to be another student.
Could
So
be a
I'm
grad
wondering
student.
if it could be, well, it could be a teacher,
Yep, that's
a
possible,
university
too.
professor.
Yeah.
Well, you've
Um,
got the kids. You got Resnick's schedule.
Yeah.
What was he taking?
Yeah. What was he taking?
We'll say he was taking college algebra, English, biology, and world history.
So biology would be the only one. He wasn't taking chemistry or anything like that.
No,
Apologies,
no.
a good bet.
Biology. Did he have an advisor on
Oh,
campus?
actually, no. World history too, because everybody seems fascinated by the past and the future. So maybe they're
maybe.
targeting kids that are into
Except-
that.
Except they're not getting the drug from the past or the future. They're getting it from someone that's concocting this stuff.
But if the dealer is looking for a certain personality type, maybe he's looking for people into that sort of thing, and the kids are hallucinating whatever they're fascinated with.
It is interesting. I assume you've all read Confessions of an English Opium Eater, right? You're all literate people.
Yeah, many times.
I've glanced.
One of my favorite books.
He's a bit wordy, that guy, though. It takes 10 words to say what I could say in 2.
Well, he was.
That's the opium.
He was scored on opium, so
Yeah.
it makes sense. The point
Paid
is
by
that
the word too, I think.
it's when you're out of your gourd on some kind of substance, you pick your subject matter, right?
Mhm.
You see Kublai Khan, or you see the ancient Phoenicians, or you see what flying ships without propellers, or whatever the fuck you see. And then when you come down, like a regular person's dream, you just describe what you remember in words. It doesn't, I know, and maybe history majors will like it, but maybe it just makes you feel fucking like a god.
Yeah, that's what he called
And
it.
that's the
what he said.
important part.
Yeah.
I feel if we
just
watch
feeling
the
like a god.
campus, I feel as if we watch the campus for a couple of days, we're going to see patterns starting to emerge in the behavior of the students that might point us in the right direction.
Well, Buddy's right. If we wait too long, there's going to be more deaths. Well, so did you, Harmon. I do think we should talk to whoever this mafia guy is as soon as possible, because he might know something that can make us fast track this.
Graves Manor up and ask, do you have the information on the students that also were correlated with the black teeth and the tongues?
Yep, it was a Mary
you spoke to. She said that. Yeah.
Yep, it was a Mary Clausen and a Franklin Stewart.
Oh, can we find out what they were taking? Find out if there's a class in common between the three of them.
There is not.
Are we able to tell how far apart they passed away?
Mary passed away 2 weeks ago, and Franklin 1 week ago.
On Fridays, Friday nights?
Yeah, over the weekend.
They died on Saturdays. And of course, those have been buried already.
Mm-hmm.
But Fox, we should get the ME report and see if they noticed anything.
Yeah, I would like to know the time as well. If this is anything occult, usually a reference to time.
Well, yeah, so the idea of a weekly delivery is interesting because I mean I've booked plenty of druggies in my day, but what I know is when they're on something, they just keep taking it and taking it and taking it. It seems like if he's only screaming on Saturday nights or something, he's probably swiping it as soon as he gets his hands on it.
How about a list
Could
of
be a
students that
ritual
aren't
thing.
showing up for classes?
If you want
That's
to
good.
go back and request that, they could provide that for you.
Yeah, I'll go back and
That'd help.
request that.
Okay.
Whenever. But yeah, because if students aren't showing up for classes, we can get them before they OD.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if all
Arm-
3 deaths are on that Saturday, yeah, then someone's bringing it onto campus every Friday. That's how
And
it
those
has to be
students are
working.
going to be going for their next fix.
Yeah.
So observation, we can catch them.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though you can say the crime scenes were kept under wraps, there should be a report at least telling us what time the investigator was there
Mhm.
and kind of correlate all that as well with everything else.
And you're in the police department where the ME would have the reports. As you suspected, they were discovered, on the weekend, and the ME, he put in there, natural causes, didn't look like any organ damage, and, probably passed away Friday night, Saturday morning timeframes.
And that's consistent with what we saw, because if we had not seen the evidence in his hand, there was nothing obvious about the bodies.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's why, with what regard do I hold the local ME?
Yeah, he's
competent.
Yeah, he's competent. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just that he didn't see what we saw.
Exactly. Yeah. He's got no note of glass bottles or anything in his reports. So yeah.
Harmon, do you think there's any point in doing a live trial on an animal with what we got? Anything to be learned?
Talk to the biology department.
Well, we don't want to have to get this to anyone else's hands, like a rabbit or something. Is there any value to that, do you think?
We could, it might be an interesting test of toxicity and behavior. Yeah. And we have
go catch you a rabbit.
We can
You
just
can
buy
just get
one.
Buddy to take it.
we got the little white ones with the pink eyes all over the place.
Yeah. Or a rat if you're feeling more kind. Don't like to hurt the bunnies.
I mean, guinea pigs, which
Sure.
the lab has things to test. So yeah, that seems fruitful. A little dark. I want to see the full reports on Mary Clausen and Franklin Stewart, but they both were weekends. They were consecutive.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I think detectives might be worth seeing if there is some kind of social connection. I mean, were Clausen and Stewart both freshmen also, or
their address, see where they were located.
If it's all in the quad and it's just happening in the quad, then we're not going to find anything. But there's probably some link that.
No, when I talked to the one kid, he made a point of talking about not needing friends with this stuff. I wonder if he's targeting people that either want that and are unhappy or just don't need it.
Is that English majors most of the time?
English majors.
They're odd, but I don't know if they deserve that.
Yeah, so the addresses for Mary and Franklin, they lived in the dorms on campus. So, that means that it was probably campus security that kind of was first on the scene, and which is why maybe it went over as well. He was off there. Mary was a junior. Franklin was a freshman. And
yeah, I bet they got some friend. I bet they've got some, either a senior or a grad student or a professor even, that's got some guru fixation bullshit. Because that is a reason that these different. So young Officer Castle and wizened Officer Weiser. If you want to do some more interviews, if they're in the dorm, they have neighbors and roommates. I'd be interested to see what you can find out about the behavior of those kids before they succumbed.
Yeah, these college kids should be making all sorts of friends and finding their cliques and stuff. So yeah, if it's all like what we got from the first guy, then yeah, maybe they are all loners.
Or there's
And
some very cool party that, Francisco, the goddamn poet, has that people are drawn to, and then they find their own little clique, right?
Yeah, somebody has to approach these students the first time. That's why I'm kind of wondering if the club if the campus has like registered clubs, and we find out they all belong to the chess club or the
Is that
freaky
information in
animal
records?
blood club. Might
Freaky
be. I don't know if they
animal
have to. In college, they probably don't have to register
Register.
those sorts
No,
of
okay.
things.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to do a little undercover work. Well, it's not really undercover. I'm basically going to go to the speakeasy that I hang out all the time and see if I can make some connections in the underworld to see if they can tell me about any kind of weird hallucinogenic drug that's going around.
Before you go,
I really
let's
just want to get a drink.
before you go, Graves, let's flip through the book and see if we can figure out who this guy is in case you have to name drop
Yeah,
or something.
Yeah.
Give out of the two of you, who has the worst luck?
I got 55.
I've got 60. Oh, wait, I've
Okay.
got 60.
I'll roll it then.
All right,
All right.
give me a luck roll.
48. I think we're in luck.
All right. There is a picture of him. He is a
There
known
he
mob enforcer.
Okay.
Seamus O'Shea.
Oh my God. Seamus. Hi.
Seamus. I'm assuming that's how you
Yeah.
pronounce it.
Yeah.
Seamus.
Have we run across that name before as detectives?
Yeah. Yeah. He gets thrown around anytime someone gets kind of roughed up around town, like, oh, they didn't pay their protection money. A shopkeeper didn't pay their protection money.
Sure.
He's that guy in the mob.
And do I have any connections in the Irish mob? I mean, there's things that they do, especially involved with alcohol, that some of us just tend to look over because we like to drink.
Right. I will let you decide. Do you?
I'm not literally affiliated, but they know I turn a blind eye to certain activities.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which most of the police force do too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because it's a stupid law.
Yeah.
Isn't most of the police force Irish also kind of been doing?
There's probably a lot of them. Probably a lot of them have brothers that are in the Irish mob.
Yeah. Oh, cool. All right, so you're going to the speakeasy. Detective Mason, where were you headed to?
Lake's Rest.
So what we know of the Seamus guy, have we ever had any kind of dealings with him?
You probably have brought him in a few times, but they've got a good lawyer that can get him
Right.
Get him
We
out
don't
there.
have a route for saying if we want to talk.
It's always just been rough housing.
Yeah.
Right. We don't have
Anytime you had something serious, suddenly the witness doesn't want to testify or
Right.
press charges, right? Yeah.
And we've never linked him to a shooting or an actual.
Right. Mhm.
Yeah.
you might not be comfortable with talking to us about this then, fortunately.
Well, maybe me. I don't know.
Yeah, all right. So you're our best bet for that. What can I do for my end of things? Let's see. Can I go and look over records of professors and stuff, look for
Sure.
scandals or trips or
Sure.
things that might stand out in relation to the occult or the poetry club or animal
you'll find-
blood or anything weird that
You'll find a lot of weird shit on the
yeah,
the
exactly.
call.
I know. I'm almost dread looking through this stuff. Like, sure,
All
I
right.
have to.
All right, Officer Buddy and Officer Castle, or Officer Weiser. Sorry.
Well, we're heading to campus, right? It's,
Yep. Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure you
yeah,
were
I
going
think
there.
so.
Okay, and the CSI guys.
We're going to go back to the station to get some reports from the enemy.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're gonna see if we can revive the fluid in the dry vials with some more ethanol
Okay.
and feed some to a white rat that's well contained.
All right. Okay. We'll go with the uniformed officer. So you guys are going to try and blend in with the student population, correct?
Well, yeah. So I wanted to kind of get Castle's idea first because, yeah, like we could go knock on the dorms, neighbors, try to get a feel of the other victims.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I still really like the idea of a baseball cap and a skateboard and trying to buy drugs. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
No
All right.
skateboards yet.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
All right.
Surfboard?
You can, do you have any points in any skill in disguise?
Oh,
I
got
considered
5.
doing it as a joke, but no, I didn't.
What about arts and craft acting?
Oh my God.
No way.
No.
Alright.
There's no way I'd
No.
be successful. I just want to do it for fun.
Yeah, okay. All right.
So now starting with the dorm neighbors, I think that's the better bet.
All right. So Castle, you doing that also?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Who has the worst luck?
65.
I have a crazy amount of luck. You got it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
All
You
right.
do. All right, Castle, give me a roll.
53.
All right. All right. So you're knocking around. It takes you a bit because you got just kind of a regular success on that. You finally knock on one dorm room, and this lady answers, and yeah, I knew Mary. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yes, yeah. We were freshmen together, and we're good. We weren't roommates, but we were good friends and stuff. Once we started getting into our junior year, of course, we were different majors and everything, so I didn't see her as much. But I still kept in contact with her until she sadly passed.
Yeah. Well,
Does she participate in any clubs or groups around campus?
She was a cheerleader. Cheered on her on the Miskatonic University.
would you say she was popular? She had a lot of friends?
Oh yeah. She was dating Pete Sylvester, big man on campus. They broke up. They broke up, over Christmas. But
and the popular kids tend to party, right? So I mean,
yeah,
I can't arrest her, but getting out drinking.
Yeah, I mean, she did. I mean, she enjoyed a sip or two of some hooch.
Do you know if she did anything a little bit more exotic than that? Did she ever start doing drugs?
Yeah, I think she got involved, with that guy that shows up on Fridays. Paul.
Yeah.
Paul.
Yeah. Paul. Oh, what was his name? If I only had something to help me remember, something that I could buy a good steak with.
Oh man, I've got money here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you could buy steak with money.
Oh, I could. Yeah.
You can have it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Paul Rogers.
Paul Rogers.
Yeah,
Wow.
he came into he started school about the same time, but he got kicked out last year.
Okay. Well, what's his deal?
He's
showing
always
up
always looking for an easy buck, and I think he's found a new way. He's what Mary said. Like every week he would charge her more.
How much would he charge her?
I told her I didn't want to know that,
Ugh.
I was like going, I was like, you got to leave that stuff behind. You're not getting any sleep. You're getting bad. Like Pete, I told her Pete will take you back. He's just got to sow his wild oats, But
So would she, do you know what the drug would do?
she just said that, it gave her sights that she'd never beheld before.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
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 Do you know anybody else who's taken it? Are you other friends? Was it the whole cheerleading squad?
No,
Doing the
no. Just her. I mean, you see it out there in the quad moving around, especially on Fridays. Oh, they come out of the woodwork. It's like
How
you
many
flipped over a log and the ants are coming out.
the people wanting to get the drugs
Yeah.
just
Mhm.
from Paul?
Yeah.
Or is there more than one guy? Is it just Paul?
Well, I mean, you understand, I'm not involved in this.
Oh,
I just
no.
just what I saw. I mean, I knew Paul because like we were freshmen together.
Yeah.
Dang.
Well, the situation here is with Mary's unfortunate passing, we weren't sure what was happening at first, but this seems like it might become a pattern. And it's very important that we find Paul and make him stop distributing this stuff.
Yeah, I never hung out with the guy. I don't know
Where
he'd
does
be.
he come on campus? Where
He
does
comes
everyone
up
meet him?
out in the quad.
Just out in the open for everyone to see. That's
Yeah.
very strange. All
You
right.
know where he lives or where he lived
No.
last year? Did he live in the dorms last year?
Yeah, last year, but like,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know where he lives.
Dang.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Well,
thank you very much.
I hope you
Mhm.
enjoy your steak. I really appreciate it.
I do too.
If you think of anything else, just like give us a call. We got more steak money for you.
Oh, good. Yeah. We got fresh steak here in Miskatonic.
Yeah.
Or in Arkham.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm gonna duck out of the room and we probably have a radio in our car. Is that how we communicate? So,
Sure.
I feel like we definitely need to get that name to the detectives.
Okay. All right. Okay. The rest of the students you talk to, they kind of give you the same. She's the only one that mentions Paul. The rest kind of go, I didn't hang out with them. I'm trying to graduate school, blah blah blah. So,
Yeah.
all right, we'll cut to the
Way to spend the day.
Yeah. We'll cut to the CSI people. Okay. So, what were you trying to? I know you were going to experiment on a rabbit.
Yeah. Assuming it's not too late in the day, we can get the Emmy reports on the two kids.
Yeah, they're there at the
And nothing
police station.
surprising. Is
No.
there? Yeah, they didn't notice. Did they even discuss the staining?
Yeah, they did. That's noted.
Yeah.
Staining of the mouth and everything.
And when they say natural causes, are they saying congenital heart failure kind of?
More of like it looks like a catch-all. Hey, we don't know what killed him, but we don't think it was a homicide or a suicide.
Right. And Fox and I read this as basically, since there was no forensics and the college covers everything up.
Yeah.
They just delivered the bodies. The bodies looked okay, except they were dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Are we able to see on the reports of who called in discovering the bodies?
No, because it is Miskatonic University, so probably their security department, who you could probably infer their dorm mate found in. They called campus security.
In the reports, I'll go for it.
Yeah, we already know the timing. It's Saturday mornings early.
Yeah.
So that's consistent. Yeah. So when we take a vial of the black out of the ice box,
Mm-hmm.
and I take one of the drier ones from under the kitchen, on the kitchen floor, and I put straight ethanol on it.
Okay.
Which again is the sort of thing that should kill a lot of bacteria, etc. And I swirl it around and I put a droplet on a microscope,
Mm-hmm.
and I look into it. What's going on in there?
It looks inert. No.
Okay. They're dead cells, but they look like cells that had nuclei in them and cilia.
Exactly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I take the recent one from his hand that I splashed some more ethanol in to keep it soluble, and I put a drop on, and that's still viable, or is it kaput?
It looks like it's kaput now.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we can try to shoot up a rabbit or a rat with this fox, but I think I might have killed it, and I'm not sad it's dead.
I don't think there's anything else we can see. The reports don't really tell us anything. Our experiment doesn't tell us anything. We kind of need to move forward on more information gathered by other people.
All right. Okay, the detectives. So you do get the call from Officer Weiser telling you the name, so you at least have that piece. And Detective Mason, where were you headed to?
Well, I was trying to basically find the equivalent of the scandal sheets for academia and students, either from local student newspapers, because sometimes they like to make fun of each other, maybe something in the newspaper morgue saying, how unfortunate Professor so-and-so was caught at this house again doing something he shouldn't have. And now that we have a name, I'll also be looking for that and see if I can tie it to anything.
Okay, give me a library use.
Okay, that I do. It's a dead regular success.
Regular success. Besides what you think is probably just gossip about people just living their lives. Looking for Paul Rogers, you do find in there. It's about a year ago. He was thrown out for cheating.
Oh, okay. Do they mention his major?
We'll say mathematics.
Mathematics. Not for cheating. Well, since Graves opened the door for us to talk to Miss Katonic about students, I'll go then. I'll get Roger's files. Say notes from the professor about why they decided he was cheating. So curious about that.
He did not, near the end, he didn't even try and cover it up, is kind of what you get. He was just literally.
He had a crib sheet tattooed on his forearm, and he was
maybe like Spies Like Us kind of cheating, where he's.
Okay, so he's a real idiot. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So, okay. All right. Now, Detective Graves, you make it to the Speakeasy. What was the name of it again?
Blake's Rest.
Blake's Rest.
Yeah. It's a coffee bar in the front. And if you know who to talk to and you get through the secret passage, you get to the bar downstairs.
Right. All right. When you come in, you see the regulars are there. And of course, Sean O'Cleary, he's the guard at the door. He kind of nods at you. He's like, going the usual?
Yes, please.
No problem.
So Sean, our little agreement and all that, but I got to ask a question. Does Seamus O'Shea come in here?
Yeah, he will come in for a drink. Generally, Generally once a night.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was hoping to talk to him. I saw him this afternoon. I didn't say
Oh,
anything.
okay. He didn't cross the line, did he?
No.
Okay. Oh, yeah, yeah.
But I
I'll,
think we have a mutual interest.
oh, okay. Yeah, I'll let him know when he shows up that you won't talk to him, that it's
Right.
nothing that he did.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're there for about an hour, and you see Seamus comes in, and Sean talks to him. He kind of points over at you, and Seamus, he sees you, and he's like, he comes on over with his Irish whiskey. It's like going, heard you looking for me.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about something that we're working on, an investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Number of students have passed away from some new drug on the street.
You're talking the black.
The black. Yeah, I saw you at campus.
Yeah.
We were there to inform the administration that a young student had passed away. Apparently over OD'd on the stuff.
Must be a rookie pushing that. He doesn't know that you can't get any money out of a dead man.
Well, yeah, our student just might be something so new that the students don't know how to keep from ODing. Do you know? Can you give me any information on that?
All I know is that we first started noticing it a little over a month ago. Some of our customers stopped coming around, and we started looking into what's going on, because normally you get hooked on a little nose candy. They keep want to come around, or they want to drink and all. Well, I was tasked to go search out, and heard about the black. As I figure out it's being distributed at the Quad on Fridays, but I can't get anyone to tell me who's patting it out.
Yeah, we haven't had any success either. We think that it could be a professor or somebody like that. We really have no idea at the point. But then we just started the investigation. We'll see if we can come up with something. What was your interest in it? You want to? I know you guys aren't really into the drug thing. You're more into the alcohol thing. Which, thank you.
Yeah. Now, it's like O'Banion wants us to not have someone move in without paying either protection, and now that kids are dying, that brings unwanted attention. From the feds.
Especially since the stuff seems to be extremely addictive. I mean, I know you guys have kids going to college.
Yeah, I want my kid getting hooked on it, and we don't want.
It's just bad business. It's bad drugs.
Exactly. You took the words right out of my mouth. Bad business.
So we're on the same side.
Exactly.
I thank you for being straightforward and honest with me, and I will keep you informed if we find out anything also.
Oh, Cleary, he vouched for you.
You've been keeping your fists clean?
As clean. I've not been punching as hard as I used to. We'll say that. People respect it. I found that hitting it in the stomach doesn't leave as many marks.
Well, just as long as it looks like roughhouse and not nothing serious.
Yeah, I've learned my lesson.
Yep. So I will finish up my drink and I'll leave.
Okay. Awesome.
And I will report back, obviously, to everybody when the chance gets.
All right. You guys meet up. And, that probably the day, it's probably a full day of all doing that. You started at the guy's house on that morning, and, full days went by. Okay.
So are we all together at this point?
Yeah. Yep. We'll say you got all back together.
Well, we got the name
Paul
of the
Rogers.
kid. Yeah.
Paul Rogers, you said.
Can we pick him up?
Yep.
We just find an excuse and pick him up to talk to him.
Well, if we can
Obviously,
find
why
his
not?
address or something, yeah, it's he dropped out. I don't know where he lives.
Well, after he got kicked out for cheating, he didn't get picked up by us for any reason, did he? There's no criminal record for him.
Nope.
Problem is
Yeah.
if he was a student and he was living off campus, he might not have a published address
Yeah.
or telephone number. We can check.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I
maybe
think-
his family lives here in Arkham.
We might just have to try to catch him on Friday, like a web, as it were. He's got to come onto campus to sell.
Well, that's the thing is she
Position
said
around
that
him. Try to
he
catch
just
him.
does it right out in the middle of the open that
Yeah.
everybody can see it, and there's an influx of people. Like,
Officers, did you get a description of the man?
Yeah.
I got his student records. There's probably a picture in there.
Yeah. He's about, 160 pounds. He's got red hair. Now, his distinguishing feature, he has a crescent-shaped wine-stained birthmark next to his left eye.
There you go. That'll be easy to spot.
Yep.
Should we, well, the officers would know better. How should we approach this? Should we make sure he has no venue to get out of the quad's not really completely enclosed.
It is not, no.
well,
It's out
I don't want to wait until
directions.
Friday. If we can find an address, I'll go arrest him.
Yeah, agreed.
No, certainly the desired thing would be to pull him in by Wednesday. What we've learned about the material is that maybe the reason he does it every week is because it's not stable. None of the stuff that we pulled, I couldn't get it to grow or be active the way it was when we first brought it in.
So you think he makes it fresh and then he sells it as soon
Makes
as
a
he
fresh
can?
batch.
He makes it or he culls it, right? Because again, it's like maybe it's we can use now snake venom to make an antidote. So maybe he's like milking some creature
And he can't milk it every day because
and it doesn't keep for.
So he's
for very
not
long.
buying cattle blood off the butchers on Thursday to mix into
No.
this to make this stuff. Okay, there's
I
some
mean, it doesn't
critter
look
he's
like-
milking.
I'm looking at things I don't recognize, so I can't be sure. But it does seem like maybe his stock is limited, and so if we can find out where he is before Friday, that would be a much improved situation. We can get the source of it, cut him off.
It would help if we could envision what sort of animal he's keeping so we could know what to look for.
well, it'll be there, obviously.
Yeah. And I'm going to the medical libraries, but obviously, if this was a described thing,
Yeah.
it would not be complicated. But there are a lot of, I was talking to Fox, the platypus. You know what a platypus? This fucking thing.
What the hell's a platypus?
It's got a face like a goddamn duck, right? But it
Big
has
bird.
babies. Right? Like a, and it has a tail like a beaver. It's like if you had a 5-year-old like make up an animal, and
Yeah.
the fucker stings. It's got like spikes in it.
Yeah.
You don't even. So if maybe they brought over some weird ass thing from Australasia,
Mhm.
or who knows? God
has-
bless China.
That
I
has
don't want a
poison
monster like
milk.
that in my town.
We don't want to get it out, and we don't want him reproducing it. So if we can get his a location for him beforehand,
Yeah,
Just tell me-
detectives, I was hoping that you could find like a bill or something. All I'm going to do is keep questioning kids at this point.
Well, it's just look in the phone book.
Yeah.
well, he
Huh.
Well, if it's a big animal and it's a carnivore, he's buying lots of dog food or something. If it's some other kind of creature, like suppliers for
Maybe
animals.
the phone book.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think a
There's probably
platypus,
50 Rogers. Yeah.
a platypus eats fish, right?
Can they even live in this climate?
I mean, anything can live in a tank, right?
With a beaver
can,
tail that swoops down to eat fish.
You can
Yeah.
get pineapples in England.
Would he need a special enclosure or like a zoo or
He might need
Well,
funny lights or a
What if
tank.
he lives on like a ranch? What if you just out of town?
do you want to ask at the pet stores to see if anyone's making word requests?
A platypus ranch.
All right. Looking in the yeah. Looking in
If
the
he
phone
has
book,
more than
phone book.
one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. You and your plan. Looking in the phone book, there is a Rogers. Rogers Paul.
This one?
Found it.
Yep. Rodgers.
Rodgers.
Rogers.
Well, that's
She didn't
not
say his
whether
name
it's
was
not more than
Rogers.
Yeah, that's worth taking a
Paul
look at.
Rogers. And where does he live? What part of town?
He lives in an apartment building in the center of town.
There you go.
Okay,
Easy peasy.
take a look at him.
Fairly easy to trap him in there unless he's going to jump out the window. We can wait on the ground as well.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
I'm up for that.
Should we wear
No.
some sort of like platypus prevention gear?
Send us the bill.
I'm looking at Harmon seriously. Do we need special protection from these things? Bibs? Something?
I mean,
Steel toe shoes
gas
to
masks?
defend against the stinger?
We're going to get a young man. We're not going to get a
Yes, but
strange.
he might grab
platypus.
the animal and throw it in your face. You never know. It might be dangerous.
If he's got a platypus in there, I'm shooting.
And might bite you right in the nose, and then you're dead, right?
so assume if we could assume it was similar, and there was a villain who was milking a snake for venom and then injecting it into people in some goddamn
Sounds like something
Agatha
Fu
Christie
Manchu
novel.
would do. I don't know.
No,
Anyways.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. This kid's a drug dealing son of a bitch. He's probably on the stuff himself.
Mm.
You're gonna knock on his door. He's not gonna open. He's gonna flip out, but he's not gonna grab an animal and throw it at you.
So, buddy, just kick the door down and grab the son of a bitch. But we'll check.
That's
We'll
the
watch
plan.
the backs to make sure he doesn't get out on the fire escape.
Yeah. Fox will stay downstairs, right? With
Yeah.
gloves and a cage in
Yeah.
case we need.
Just in case.
Okay. Animal control.
Animal control.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys headed
Mm-hmm.
headed to the apartment. All right. Who's going?
I,
Okay.
Everyone, right?
Okay.
Everyone. All
Have like a
right,
big
all right.
ambush.
Yeah.
Roll
we
in
want to make
strong.
sure there's no way out.
Okay, I
He's
got
not
you.
getting away, this guy.
Okay, anyone staying outside the apartment?
Yeah, because we got to
Yes.
make sure he doesn't slip
In
out the
case he
back.
goes-
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he on
I
the
think-
what floor is he?
The fifth floor.
Fifth
Oh,
floor.
well, he ain't going out the window.
Mhm.
But there's a fire escape.
Is there a fire
Uh,
escape?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, so
Probably
we need to
has
watch that.
fires. Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
I'll go up the fire escape, and the rest of you can surround him.
Okay.
Nice.
Fox, how old are you? What's your seniority? Which one of us is senior?
I believe you are.
Yeah. So I'll do the backyard with the fire escape in case he's crafty. You stay in the front.
Okay.
All right. So,
I'll do the
Great.
cage.
yeah. Graves, you were going up the fire, watching the fire escape, or going
Yeah,
up it?
I'll actually go up to
Okay.
where, if we can identify where his room is, I will be.
Give me an intelligence roll. On
If
that.
he tries to go out that window, then I'm going to catch him.
Got it.
44. My intelligence is
Where is
70.
Yeah, you can kind of figure it out and stuff. Okay, so you're going up fire. Say, I'm just going to go in picture order here. Officer Castle, what are you going to do? You going to go up to the apartment?
Right to the door. Yep.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Detective Mason, officer.
Okay, so I think Harmon is watching the ground level fire at where the fire escape is. So we got up and down covered.
Mm-hmm.
You should go with them.
Okay, sure. Just in case this guy's nasty. All right, so I'll be with Harmon.
And then Gavin.
I'm in front.
You're going up to the apartment. Okay. All right. So you guys are going up to the apartment. Graves, when you get up because I assume they're going to kind of let you climb up there first. There's no elevator in the building.
I'm being very quiet.
Okay. When you get up there, you kind of the light is on, and you see the guy that you recognize because he's got the birthmark on there. He's just kind of sitting there. It looks like he's talking, but there's no one there that he's talking to. It's like, yeah. Okay. The others, you guys make your way. You guys make your way up to the door, and you're outside the door. What do you do?
I'm gonna listen, kind of like listen to see if I can hear anything before we knock on the door.
Okay. You hear him give me a listen roll.
I got a 17. Listen is ooh, hard.
Okay. Yeah, you can hear him go, okay, so 6 times. It sounds like he's doing math.
Oh, he's a math major.
6 times 12, yeah.
If I see him go for a weapon, I will I've got my own weapon just in case. Yeah. I will break through the window.
Okay.
And hold my gun on.
All right. Okay.
I'm gonna look at Buddy, and I'm like, are we have our guns out, or are we just knocking?
Well, both. You hear him in there?
Yeah, he's being weird.
All right, yeah. Let's get him to open the door if we can.
Okay.
Okay. So you knock?
Oh yeah. Just a nice gentle knock.
You hear Graves, you see him get up, and he kind of takes a couple steps toward the door, and he's like, "Who is it?"
I nudge Buddy.
It's police. Open up.
Just a second. Just a second. And Graves, you see him. He picks up a book. He kind of he's turning through it very frantically. He stops on something, and then he starts making hand symbols.
I'm gonna be banging a little bit louder.
I'm gonna knock on the window with my gun.
When you do that, he kind of freezes, and then he finishes a hand symbol. And the two on the bottom, give me a spot hidden.
Open up the window.
Okay. Hold on. I think that's me and you, Clive.
I think Gavin went with the officers. Yeah.
06, which
is 29 is 29 is
you need
exactly hard.
I got an extreme success.
You needed an extreme.
Okay. Looking in the right direction.
Oh, you kind of look up and you see this creature kind of, maybe it crosses in front of the moon. It's flapping, and you see it coming like almost like a missile toward Graves.
Graves, look out! And I'll pull my arm and I'll start shooting at the thing.
Okay. All right. So when you hear that yell, Graves, what do you do?
I hear him. I turn around and I look.
Yeah.
Do I see it?
Yeah. Yes, you do. You see this creature come at you. His face is completely smooth. It looks like it's got arms and wings. You'd almost swear it was a gargoyle.
A demon or a gargoyle.
So you can give me a sanity roll.
And I failed.
Okay, that is 1d6.
2.
2. Okay, yeah, you kind of like maybe press up against the.
I'd probably fall back into
Yeah.
the balcony of the thing.
Yeah. And when you do that, you kind of fall out of the way. The people in the hallway, you hear the glass shatter, and Graves, as that thing comes flying through the window.
Oh, I'm kicking down the door.
Okay, give me a strength roll.
All right, my worst step.
Yeah.
Oh,
my
I
leg.
rolled-
What are you
I rolled
doing on the
25.
force?
I got a hard.
Okay. You needed a hard. Yeah. You kick the
Wow.
door. You kick the
Got it
door
exact.
open, and the three of you can give me a sandy roll as you see Paul climbing onto the back of this like he's going to ride it out of here.
What?
I got a pass.
Okay. That's 0 if you pass.
I got a pass.
I passed. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you guys can take an action before the thing kind of.
I had my gun out. Can I shoot?
Yep. You can fire away. Are you shooting the creature or the man?
Shoot the monster.
The creature.
Okay.
This seems bigger. Like.
Yep. Give me a roll.
Okay.
Shoot for the center mass of them both.
Yeah.
Don't pick.
I passed with
Okay. Roll your damage.
1d10.
Nice.
Oh, I have that right here. A 4.
Okay. Yep. It kind of like it seems like it was screaming, but it doesn't have a mouth. But you can't hear it, but you kind of feel the pressure because it's almost at a hertz rate that's higher than human hearing. Okay.
Does it hit him? Does it hit?
Yeah. And like some black. I shouldn't use black because that would give you a false impression of what I was trying to get. So like some blood comes out. Yeah.
Okay. I was like, that's the thing he's smoking.
No, it is not. I don't want to give that impression. All right.
Okay.
Officer Weiser.
So, can I take 3 shots at Paul? That guy's a drug dealer.
You can. If you fire 3 times, they are all with a penalty dice, but you're a point blank range, so it's going to be a regular shot.
Yeah.
Okay. So how many rolls? Just one?
3.
3.
Okay.
3 shots.
So, wow, 20, 61, and 31. And my skill is 50?
Okay, so you hit him twice.
55. Yep.
Okay, roll your damage.
That is a 4 and a 6. 10 total.
10 total. Let's roll his constitution for that 6. He falls off the thing, pass out because you got hit twice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Gavin.
Well, since she already shot the monster, and he already shot the mobster.
The monster's still moving. The monster's still moving.
Okay,
Did they do their sanity rolls?
They did. They all passed.
Yeah. Can I say that I noticed the book and that I lunged for the book?
Sure, you can.
Gavin, shoot the platypus.
Yeah.
He was getting on its back.
Yeah, with Paul fell off of it and him out. The creature
the book, right? I'm assuming.
No, he's definitely not holding it now that he's took 2 bullets.
When we came in, I saw him holding the book, like if it was like a weapon or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
The creature kind of like, because with the guy trying to ride it, the creature does a quick almost faster than you would think possible, and it comes blowing back out. Ethan, maybe right when you're starting to stand back up, you just goes blowing past you really quick, and that sounds like a good place to stop for this.
Does it jump onto the windowsill as it's going out?
No, it almost like it doesn't seem like it should fit through the window, but it does.
It
like,
goes.
yeah.
Is Paul still
Because
on?
I
or
would
he
have
fell
shot
off?
at it, but
No,
it
Paul
happened
fell
so
off.
quick.
Oh.
Yeah.
The thing was horrifying, guys. I got to go tell Mr. Harmon that it was exactly like he described.
Platypus.
All right. And that's where we'll pause it with the thing gone.
Right. Our players included Jenny Olson, Troy Lehman, David Gasway, Cholka, Kaylin McDowell, and myself, with Keith Craig as the keeper of arcane lore. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. If you'd like to help support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 or $2 a month helps us a lot. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and touch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows, and leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.